Thank you, Vinith. Good evening, my dear panelist members and ladies and gentlemen and the team here. Before I begin, I think many congratulations to Vinith and his team for announcing the launch of this first ever in the industry as a job portal. Today is something special about the date, even if you see Vinith. And everyone will remember this date very well as a very special day. What is the date today? 4/8/16. 2 square, 2 cube, 2 raised to 4. It's a very unique date, Vinith. I don't know whether it was planned so that we remember these dates and... Yeah, okay. So very special day. Very special day being here on this special date, on the special occasion of Gems and Jewelry announcing the portal. And that too on a very special topic, which is the need of the hour today, that is skilling. One correction which I would like to make here before we start on actually some thought process on the skilling. I think the subject which was given to us was why skilling. I would like to change that subject, Vinith, as the only way to go forward is skilling, right? So I'm answering before I begin that why skilling as a topic. Just 2 minutes I would like to spend on my organization, which is Kohinoor Technical Institute. For the people who may not be aware of, what do we do? Kohinoor Technical Institute is institutionalized by former CM of Maharashtra and ex-Lok Sabha Speaker, Dr. Manohar Joshi, way back in 1961. Since then, which is with this 4-student coaching class as institute when we began this journey way back in 1961, today when we are entering into 2016, the same organization has now encompassed 7 states in India, and from 4-student batch, we are now doing 80 centers with over 20,000 students skilling averagely on annual basis. In this journey, of course, last 2 years were very significant because we got our partnering done with NSDC, which I think my colleague has made a mention of the central side where they're driving this as a Skill India mission. And of course, we have partnered with over 10 sector skill councils, and yet another, the step forward which we are going from today onwards is we are going to have affiliation with Vinith as through Gems and Jewelry Sector Skill Council. So that's another thing, a special day for today for us. Currently, there are 2 key focus that we are working on as a Kohinoor Technical Institute. One is we are working on creating Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, the initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister, where he has announced on 15 July the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas as a scheme 2 to support that. And second, as a part of skilling as we go forward, the whole mission what we are taking is digitizing the whole education. That's what we are doing as we are beginning this journey in 2016. So why skilling? Which I have already answered. That's the only way to go ahead when we are talking about India by country as large. 2020, I will play on some statistics now, which is very critical to understand why skilling is required. 2020, where India is going to have a population of around 1.3 billion, the second most populous country by then as just behind China. Till that time, China will be still leading the pie. With 1.3 billion country, if we look at the actually sectionalize the population in this country, 9% of the people that time will be in the aging population, which is 60 years and above. Almost 30-31% of the population at that time will be a student's population, which is age between 1 to 15. And 60% of India's population at that point in time will be the population in the age bracket of 15 to 59, which we term it in the industry by large as a working age population. When my colleague had made mention of demographic dividend, it is this demographic dividend which India will have and is enjoying even today. And by the time we enter in 2021, additional fact which is going to be live is our median age at that point in time will be 29. So one is a demographic dividend, having a highest working population in India. Statistically, what we estimate is 28% of the global working population will be present in India. With the median age, which is 29, that means the youngest population in India globally. These are 2 very important factors when we talk about what is happening today about this working age population. If I coin the word called as a skill penetration, how much of our working age population today is getting skilled in India versus so-called what we talk about developed countries? Why we call them as a developed country? In India, when we compare the statistical analysis as a global benchmarking, the working age population is only 10% as getting as a skill. If we compare with Germany, it is 75%. If we compare with the country like South Korea, it is 96%. There where the skilling is going in those countries, the way the developments are happening. The scene is not good if we look at it today's as a skilling penetration in our working age population. We all know that the skill and the knowledge, they are the two driving forces for any economic growth and social development in the country. And there where the skilling is becoming as a hot topic today, because we are not having this as a way of life in today's working age population. If we look at the education today, we have a good formal education system, no doubt. But my dear friend had made a mention, and I'm picking up on that. Graduates today are driving cabs. There is a lot of mismatch between what industry expects as an employee versus what the skill set that graduates or postgraduates as educated people are coming out of the institutes. Some statistics again, we have been reading newspapers. There is a lot of a talk of the scoops, I would say, in the news items. 60% of engineers today are not employable. Forget about graduates as engineers. 40+% of postgraduates are not employable as per the industry standards. And does it mean that industry doesn't have a job? In one of the NSDC seminars, when we were talking about the job opportunities, I think each industry vertical, including our as a gems and jewelry, which is growing at 15% as a CAGR, is going to need over 50 lakhs of skilled labor, if I'm right on numbers. 3 crore in the retail sector, 70 lakhs in beauty and wellness. Healthcare, some again 2 million as a job opportunity which is required. Where are the people? Because where is the skill to do that job in that industry? This is where the skill is required. Just imagine a person who is doing undergraduation, BSc. BSc because he likes physics, he likes maybe zoology, he likes maybe botany. I'm taking this thing BSc because my colleague is running a hospital. Just imagine if this BSc undergrad takes up a course which is maybe of 200 hours as a course in paramedic science. So he is not living his mainstream education, but he's parallelly as a evening hour, he's getting the paramedic as a skill extra, maybe in any of the streams. It could be radiologist, it could be anesthetist, it could be renal dialysis. So imagine when he comes out of as a graduation as a BSc student, and he's having that additional certificate that he's a qualified technician in the radiology. Don't you think that his employability quotient is going to be enhanced? And this is where skill comes in. Our Honorable Minister for MSD, Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Raju Pratap Rudy, has really said one good statement which I would like to repeat on his behalf. 12 years of formal education, if it gets coupled with 12 weeks of any skill as education, the employability quotient of the student will be enhanced. And this is where skill is required. This is where why skill. Let's not stop here only as a local. I'll spend 2 minutes. Let's look at the international market. When we say we are having demographic dividend, we will have 28% of working population as a working population against the global population. At that point in time, India will have a skilled workforce surplus of the study 47 million, 4 to 5 crores. At the same time, when we look at the developed countries, be it Japan, Germany, take Europe, UK separate, of course, at this point in time, but I'm just referring still Europe as a group, or US for that matter. These countries are aging countries. And there will be skill shortage on this international radar scheme. From where this skill shortage is going to get supplied by? None other than India here. So that's the third angle that comes out, that why our youth needs skilling today. Because skilling is not only creating as a door opening for the job in India, but that will also help to create the international tracks where today every parent's aspiration is there, how my child is going to cross India boundaries at first level, which is actually not required. But given a choice, even that's the door which gets opened to fulfill the aspiration of today's parents through this vocational education. I think these are a few points which I clearly wanted to share as a thought process from the skilling perspective. Just to sum up, why skilling? To create a good skilled youth of tomorrow that will help growing our economy, to enhance the employability quotient of the people to get them the more job employability, and third, also fulfill the aspirations of the parents which are today to make available the international gateways through these skilling programs. Thank you.